Food markets only.
Meet Susie Smart, she is so bright. On her blackboard you can write. She has a desk, she has a seat. What's your name, my darling sweet?
My name is Susie Smart.
She can talk!
She can talk, but can she add?
2 plus 2 is 4. Cat, C-A-T.
You can spell!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how
You recite!
Press the button, she says a dozen things, complete with desk, blackboard, and seat. Susie Smart, sold at food markets only.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not going to try it. You try it. I'm not going to try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
You on drugs?
I might be on drugs, actually. Good afternoon or good evening. It's Susie Q96. Welcome to Sweepin the Dirt. I still got the coin up there, but maybe he's sweeping the dirt. This may be the shortest show I've ever done. The doctor was here this afternoon. Yes, my doctor makes house calls, which is absolutely freaking amazing. And by the time, by the time we got done going over everything and her looking at all the stuff and everything and made me walk around so she could get some different readings on what's going on, I'm exhausted. I am absolutely, totally exhausted. And they still can't figure out what's causing the dizziness and stuff. And so now the new theory is that it's just stress and anxiety induced, which that could well be. You know, I'm stressy over this not being able to get moved thing. So here's what we're going to do for today's show, because I just don't think I can do it. So here's what we're going to do. Let me get my notebook so I don't mess up. Oh, my admitted. Okay, let's see. I'm going to update you on the pinpointer drawing. So far, we have 53 of our 96 entries, so I still have time to get them all gathered up. Like I said, you're allowed to have a total of 5 entries from 5 different days or contests. Most people only have 1, but I'm going to run down the list of the people that have more than 1, just so you know where you're at. Archaeology Mikey has 2, Furry Plants and Coins has 3, Tiffany Twisted has 2, although that might not be right. I think she has 3, but I've got her down as 2. Has 3. William E has 2. Cameron and Hayden have 2. Luder 8 2. Mike Chalice 2. Lyle Okamoto has 2. Del Brett has 2. Leanne Crawford has 2. Irish Collector has 2. And everybody else that has gotten an entry only has 1. I'm not going to read down the whole list right now. If you think I have overlooked something, let me know. So what I'm going to do now is, this is going to be a real short video, and those who don't watch it are going to lose out. Because what I'm going to ask you to do, after I say hi to everybody, is when I end this video, go back into the regular comment section, not in the live stream, and post a comment. And everybody who does that between now and Thursday night will get an entry. So if the people that don't watch, you should have 2 new Marshall. Okay, let me double check, because I was doing this kind of flying by the seat of my pants. Well, there's one. Let me get back to the beginning here. I was trying to do it while I was doing something else, and that's never a good plan. Okay. Oh, God. Hang on, I'm studying. Okay. None on the first day. Let me look on the comments that were made on the community tab. Those people that got them there. And you're not in that group. Okay, number 37, New Marshall, and number 47, New Marshall. You are correct. See, that's why I asked you guys to kind of keep track of your own, and that way I can go back through the list. And you were correct. Thank you for being my eyes when I don't always function. No, but you were correct. You did have 2, and I would have gone back through the list at the end, because at the end I enter them in this big Excel database, and then I hit sort, and that way I find them. I find the ones I missed. So this was just a tentative. So let me say hi to everybody that did show up real quick. Where am I? Let me get back up to the top here. Oh my goodness. I hate to leave when I got all these people in here. Maybe I'll just plug away for a while. Got Annette Eastman, or Esman. Annette, how do I pronounce your last name? Is it like S, like the letter S, or East? Silver Slinky, New Marshall, James Eller. James, is the air in Detroit really as bad as they're saying it is on the news? Archaeology, Mikey. William E. Of course, we got New Marshall. We got Mike Scalise. We got, who else we got? Lyle. There's Lyle. Lyle in the house. I'm still scrolling. Jim Steele, the king of the duck race. Yeah. Okay, it's Esman. Okay. I always try. Sometimes I don't always remember later on, but let's see what we can talk about here. I obviously have not been metal detecting. I haven't even really watched that much metal detecting, and a number of my friends have informed me that they have not been able to go out, and they're going back and pulling old videos because of this smoke haze that has blown out of Canada. And a lot of my friends are up in Michigan, and they're being told in some areas, don't even go outside. Now, I don't want to say it's bad, because it is, but I live in the southern part of the state of Virginia on the North Carolina border up in the mountains. Now, my doctor makes house calls. Hang on, I gotta get a drink. My doctor makes house calls, and I was on her schedule for today, and I hadn't even looked outside, so I didn't have a clue. But at first, she just wanted to do a phone call uh, appointment, and I reminded her that she had to check my surgical incision, which was going to become hard to do on a phone call. So she decided she needed to come over here. Um, so after she had done all this stuff, tests and different things, uh, I said something about walking up to check my mail, and she said, "It's really hazy outside. Don't go outside," because part of my problem is a breathing problem. So I walked up there with her, but I didn't go out the door, and I looked out, and that smoke is clear down here. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not a good thing. It is way, way, way down here. I realized my quarter was upside down. So I saw I watched some different Michigan newscasts. And hey, John Chum, I was watching Channel 5 out of Flint, and they were talking about, it's okay, KK, we got you. Anyway, they were talking about that, according to the National Weather Service, the air quality in Detroit was the second worst in the world right now. So if you live in Detroit, don't go outside, because that's not clouds, honey. That's smoke, and you can breathe that nastiness in. And then one of my friends, another area that they're saying is really, really bad is Bay City. And that's kind of one of my haunts, because that's where half of the band I work with live in Bay City. And then a couple of them live in Saginaw, and one lives in an unincorporated area between Saginaw and Flint. So they're all smoked in, but I could not believe it was all the way down here. But needless to say, that is um, something that people doing metal detecting need to keep in mind, is the air quality. That no matter how bad you want to go out and detect, if you live in Michigan right now, I wouldn't advise doing it. Stay at home, edit, do some things like that, because they're saying it's really bad. Let me see. I wasn't going to stay on here, but I'm going to for a few minutes. One of the topics I wanted to do today is just to ask people, because I use a somewhat unorthodox bag or pouch as my finds bag. And a couple of years back, when I was down in Florida, I went metal detecting with the Weedy Boys, and they just couldn't believe what I was using. And they thought, and then I told them how much it cost and how long I'd been using it. And they thought it was a good idea. But I'm using it for something it was not built for. So I'm just curious. I'm trying to find a picture of it right now, or a similar one. This one's pretty close. In fact, I think that's it. Yeah. So I'm just curious what people use for their finds bag. Do you use an actual finds bag that was made for that purpose? You know, a lot of the different detector companies will give you one with your purchase of your equipment. But I'm just curious what people use. I'll show you what I use in a minute. I'm just trying to tidy things up a tad here on my deskable top. I am very frustrated with YouTube and their a nail apron for 20 years. Yeah, I've seen William E. Long as I can fit frisbees in it. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, goodness. That one got me. Oh, you got me there. That is good. I needed to laugh too. Uh, well, I'm going to show you what I use. Now, I bought this, and this is pretty much the same item. I think it's a little bit different, but it looks pretty much the same. And I've been using this thing now for 5, 6 years, and it serves me well. I have enough room in there for all my tools and a couple of medical things that I have to carry along, like an inhaler and that kind of stuff. I have to carry a little extra goodies. But when I bought mine several years ago, um, it wasn't, it didn't cost what it does now. But let me get it up here on the screen and show you what I use. It's actually a tool pouch. Now, this doesn't show it, but mine has a belt with it. I don't know if this one does or not, but this is a very similar and from the same brand, which is Husky. And it has this, the difference between this one and the one I have is the one I have has little pouches on the inside as well. In here, there's like more of this with the little individual pouches. Now I took this thing off and I have the lanyard for my pinpointer hooked on there. And over in this little one over here, I actually have pepper spray. I've only had to use it once, and that was for somebody's dog, but it has like mine has a belt that comes all the way around, and it has the little pouches in here. I have, there's a big pouch in there I keep my trowel in. I've got a little spray bottle of basically water with a drop of Dawn in it. Over here, I've got a pouch with the extra 9-volt battery and a little magnifying glass and a jeweler's loop. And then down in here, before I go out, I put a Ziploc bag so that when I get my finds, I throw them in the Ziploc. I do have a pill bottle in one of the little pouches that I put tiny things in. So now this is a Walmart deal here, and I think Walmart charges $24.95 for it now, but when I bought it, I think it was $14. Um, so that's I'm going to use that probably until it dies. Oh, because there's also room in there for I have a small water bottle that'll fit in there. So I got room for everything I need. Sometimes there's a couple Band-Aids stashed in there. Hey, Mudswat, how you doing? I never tried to put a Frisbee in it, though. Probably because I haven't found a Frisbee yet. I use my back pocket for junk, larger relics, change pocket for good coins, shovel and pinpointer in one hand, detector in the other. I don't use a pouch. I don't have containers or spray bottles. But you're different. No, but see, I have so many disabilities that I gotta kind of carry extra stuff. Like my one hand has the detector, the other one, I have a shovel that is about waist high, which I use it occasionally to dig with, but more often than not, I'm using it as a cane. So I've got both hands full. Now, sometimes I will get out of the car for a quick hunt and I won't take that. I'll just have my pinpointer and I'll just unhook the lanyard from my pouch and hook it on my belt buckle or belt loop. And I'll just take the little digging tool and the detector and put things in my pocket. Or if it's a place that has trash that I can see, I will also sometimes, when I'm not taking all that stuff along, I will take a little plastic bag and tie that on my belt loop so I can throw the trash that won't fit in my pocket in that bag, and then I will drop it off in the trash can on my way out. Those are that's what I do, and uh, I don't. I like to have finds boxes, but I don't carry them in my pouch. I do carry a little medicine bottle in there to put little teeny tinies in, or something that I think I might break in the bag, like a fragile ring or something like that. But I do keep a couple of finds boxes in my car. And the reason for that is I often stop at 2 or 3 places when I go out, and so I will empty my bag of whatever I found at location one and put it in a finds box. Hey, Florida Meadow! And put that in one of the finds boxes, and then put the bag back in my bag that I'm taking out the field with me, and then do the same thing. And then when I get home, I know what I found where, and they're not all mixed in the Ziploc bag together. So that's what works for me because it doesn't cost me too much, and I'm kind of a scatterbrain. So yeah, I just thought that was I have given away several fines boxes, different sizes, different shapes, and I've given away 2 or 3 fines pouches and aprons and stuff. So I just figured I would ask what people use. Because like I said, a lot of them, when you buy a detector in a kit, they will give you a fines apron of some type. And I'm trying to see what... I just made my screen huge. How did I do that? And how do I undid it? Ow. I must have bumped something with my elbow. And now I can't figure out how to make it littler. I got to make things littler. It's big. It's huge. I huged my screen. Oh, no, that didn't help. Uh-oh. Oh, I know there's a place up here. Yeah, I only made it 300%. Gee, I can't imagine why it's taking up so much room. Oh, Miss Susie, you are a mess. There we go. We're back to normal now. Semi-normal anyway. Alright, well, that's interesting. Alrighty. James is posting different people's links, so y'all be sure and go over and visit the other people that are in here. They have some interesting things on their channels. Yeah, I'm glad to see Florida Metal Detecting back with us. That's good. Yeah, thank you. That's what I was trying to remember, Mud Swat, was I knew it was F something, but I didn't see FU among the selections, so I knew that wasn't right. I figured it out. Right click, yeah, at the top of your page. That's probably, yeah, I got it anyway. I'm back to my regular setting now. But yeah, that wasn't right. Yeah, well, we can't really do a lot of detecting. Believe it or not, we're getting that darn smoke clear down here in Virginia. My poor friends up in Michigan are getting wiped by that stuff. They're telling people, on at least the news I watched out of Flint, was telling people don't even go outside unless you have to, and if you have to wear a mask. And so I guess this is the only time you'll hear me say I'm not glad. I mean, that I'm glad I'm not in Michigan. Hey, furry. Anyway, I am not going to do a real long show. Those of you who were here at the beginning know that my doctor was here most of the afternoon, and they wore me out. And they still can't figure out what's causing my issue, other than she thinks that I'm just getting very tired very quickly because I was sick so many times in a row that I didn't have the opportunity to build my stamina back up. So to that end, they are going to sign me up for some physical therapy. Now, I didn't have a very good time in physical therapy before, so I'm not looking forward to that. But if it'll make me strong enough that I can get my stuff packed to move, and it'll make me strong enough that I can go metal detecting, well, I'll tolerate somebody coming over here trying to help me. Because, boy, I need it. So anyway, they wore me out. And the other thing they said was that the other possibility for it could be that I'm having anxiety attacks because I'm worrying so much about this getting moved thing and about the money to do it, etc., etc. So I decided I wasn't gonna. Oh, I love eggs. I eat eggs every day, Mudswat. Every day. I keep a whole bowl of boiled eggs in my refrigerator so I can just grab one. Package total. Hi. Hi, package. How are ya? Have not much what's right. Haven't seen you for a while. So anyway, here's what I'm going to do today to add entries into the pinpointer contest, which I have now determined is going to happen. Let me find my calendar here again. On July the 5th is when we will be doing the giveaway of the first of 6 Vulcan 360 pinpointers that were donated to us by Calico. So on the July 5th Sweepin' the Dirt show, we will be giving this first one away. Now, normally I have contests and all that stuff to get people registered, but since I don't feel super groovy tonight, so what I'm going to ask you to do, and the people that don't actually watch this video are going to lose out on an opportunity to get registered because they didn't watch the video. So what I'm asking you to do is, after I end the live stream, and then go over in the regular comments section, not here in the live stream, but in the regular comments for the video, and make a comment. Now that's going to do 2 things. That's going to help me with the YouTube algorithm thingy badoo, but also anybody that makes a comment on there between now and midnight Eastern time on Thursday is going to get an entry into the contest. The bat, okay, we'll get rid of Batman. Let's put something else up there. Let's see what I got up under here I can stick there. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Up, 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 up. And this thing's too weird. It's actually a friend of mine's, a poker trophy that he won, and it has like a thing that says top dog, and it has a blurry set of poker cards behind it. There's the dog. Yeah, let's put the blurry dog up there. So just flip the bat over. I ain't touching that dang bat. I ain't turning that thing over. That's not happening. Oh, then I've had fun today. This has nothing to do with metal detecting, but yeah, let's put a little guitar up there for a little bit. There's some idiot online. You know how people, hey Jeff, you know how people are making fake accounts on Facebook so that they can try to get people's friends to sign up with them so they can scam them out of stuff. Well, some ding dong contacted me, and they always start out with, on Messenger, they'll just say hello and act like they know you. Well, somebody decided to clone one of my friends' accounts, uh, one of my good friends, and this guy is as dumb as a box of rocks. Um, he doesn't speak English very well, so I know it's not my friend. And I'm going to tell you who it is because he's kind of a celebrity. And if this copycat happens to approach you, don't join his channel. But he's pretending he's Henry Paul from the band The Outlaws. Except this guy can't type any. Henry is a very educated guy, and he's a songwriter, and he's a very educated man. You can tell just by the person that is sending these messages that they're not Henry, because the guy can't even speak English correctly. He can't write a correct sentence. So I let Henry know, and Henry reported it to Facebook. And at first, Facebook said, "Well, we don't see anything wrong here, other than the fact that that guy's not Henry." Well, this guy is so stupid. He started this big conversation. I told him, "Look, I know Henry, and I know this isn't you because I've already talked to Henry. We've already talked to Facebook, yada yada yada." And this guy is so stupid. He sends me a message and he says, "Don't message me." He says, "Okay, so I'm not Henry. Don't message me anymore." And I'm like, I'm just keep messaging him. For a while I did, of just like random things about, your English is bad, we know you're not Henry. And he's still trying to pretend he's Henry. And I'm like, "Dude, I know you're not Henry. I know Henry. I've talked to Henry. You are not Henry, and this page is not Henry." And he's like, "Don't message me anymore." This guy's too stupid to figure out where the block function is. And so finally this afternoon, after I had gotten all my report done in to Facebook and sent Henry over some of the higher points of the conversation, I went ahead and blocked the guy. And I had told him, I said, "Look, when I quit messaging you, that's when the cops are on their way to your house." So I just messing with the guy. I put a picture of a cop car and a troll burning in hell. And then I blocked him. So I hope he's having a lovely day trying to figure out when the cops are going to get to his house. But he's clearly not. He does not appear to be American. But it makes me angry that he is trying to take advantage of my friend that way. Especially since just a couple of days ago they had Henry's mom's memorial service. And I'm like, man, that is so tacky. Why you want to mess with somebody who just had somebody in their family pass away? That's wrong. Wrong. Oh, and that leads me to another subject we can discuss. And that is, I have had people ask me, or not even just ask, just make the statement, "Oh, I'm going to get a metal detector because I bet I could find all kinds of things in this old cemetery by my house." Now, we do have a code, people, and the code of honor is you do not metal detect in cemeteries. You just do not do it. There is one exception that I know of, and that exception is If a bunch of people have been at a funeral and someone loses their car keys, I have been asked, do you have your detector in your car? Aunt Sally dropped her keys somewhere out here. And I will keep the family member with me, and I will look for their keys and their keys only. Because usually they're going to be on the top of the ground anyway, and they're going to be an easy find if Aunt Sally actually lost them in there. But boy, you don't ever want to let me catch somebody actually detecting or digging in a cemetery. No, 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 no. Don't do it. Don't even think about doing it. The parking lot outside the cemetery, that's different. If there is a separate parking lot. Like I did one in Georgia where it was, the cemetery had been associated with a church at one time. And the church had long since been torn down, or somebody said they thought it burned down. But the cemetery was fenced off, and it was behind where the church had been. So we were trying to figure out exactly where the church had been. And so we did detect the parking lot, which was just a big grassy field. And eventually we found a couple of square nails. So we're guessing that's about where the church was. We had looked on maps at the Historical Society and books in the library and could not figure out exactly where the church had sat, but we did not go inside the fence surrounding the cemetery. Yeah, I don't care what people tell you, do not take your detector inside a fenced in cemetery or into a cemetery. There are things in there that family members put with their loved ones when they passed away, and you need to just respect that and leave those things alone. I don't care. That's not yours. That's sacred ground. Stay out of there. So that's Susie's soapbox for the day on that topic. Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, like I said, they kind of messed me up when they were here today. My back hurts. I'm tired. So I'm going to log off. And like I said, if you want to get entry into the pinpointer drawing after the stream has closed, come back to this video, make a post under the regular comments section, and as long as you do that by midnight Thursday Eastern time, you will get an entry for the pinpointer. And those people, I'm not putting it in the notes or, the description of the video. So those people who do not take time to watch the video aren't going to know. And so they're not going to get entered. Oh, Incognito, I have a question for you. I'm glad to see you pop in because I was working on packages today and I found a piece of paper that's not attached to an envelope or anything. And it says, well, let me find it. Anyway, it says I owe you a prize, and I need to find out if I already sent the prize because it should have been attached to an envelope, and it's not. And I believe it was a duck charm or some type of thing. Here, let me find it. Okay, it says, oh, flying pig incognito. Did I send you a flying pig? If I didn't, I owe you a flying pig. So, but usually these stickers are attached to an envelope that has the prize in it. And this one is just in the box and there's nothing attached. So I'm not sure. No, ma'am, what? No, I didn't send it, or no, I don't owe it. I'm so confused. Uh, so if I owe it to you, I need to get that in there. That's why I asked you about the pennies last week. Okay, so what exactly do I owe you? I know I owe you something, but this has come unstuck from whatever it belonged on. So apparently I owe you wheat pennies and a flying pig. Okay, that's what I needed to know. So, because I did find an envelope full of pennies, but there's no flying pig in there with it. And then I found this thing that says flying pig. So I wanted to clarify that before I sent the pennies to you, and then they might not belong to you. So yeah, I was just double checking on myself. Yeah, if you would send your address again, just because I'm having all kinds of crazy issues. And yeah, I was working on stuff today and I said, wait a minute, I don't remember sending. Yeah, I knew it was for last place, because usually for last place I send a flying pig or a chicken. The chicken being that your duck was too chicken to get in the water, or you got about as much chance of winning as a flying pig. So those are usually the two I send for that. So okay, now I know which one of these belongs to who. Uh, what happened up here was my brother got me a new computer, and uh, we had set up the new computer and the old computer side by side, and I was transferring a bunch of data and stuff over uh, to the new one. And I got up one day and I turned on the old one. I would have the new one fired up, and I turned on the old one, and um, it wouldn't start up. All of a sudden, it was asking me for a password for the BIOS, and I don't know what the BIOS password is. And so anyway, when I went to move that computer so we could try to reset the BIOS password, which involved opening the computer and stuff, I knocked a bunch of the packages off, and uh, so that sticker got separated from what it was supposed to be with, that one and one other one, but I knew the other one. So I was just making sure before I do that package. So boy, I'm glad you came in, because I was going to email you and ask you, and I got sidetracked because the doctor got here. So yeah, I'm going to try to work on those a little bit more tomorrow. My aide will be here Friday, and I can send her down to the post office with some more outgoing mail. And so on that note, y'all remember what you got to do to get your entry. And I'm going to go lie down for a little while because they really wore me out today. And they had me walking me up and down the halls like a dog on a leash. Then I'd have to sit down somewhere in the middle of the building and they'd check my oxygen levels. And so they kind of wore me out a little bit today. But anyway, like I said, because of all this smoke and stuff, there's not been a whole lot of people. A lot of my regular people aren't out detecting. So I'm going to go. I really appreciate all of you showing up. Hit the like button on the way out. Don't forget to go make your commentary. So I'll try to come back on tomorrow if I feel a little better with some more opportunities to get entries. So I'll see y'all later. Thanks for your patience. We're going to figure out why I'm so sick and get me back on track here. Good night, everybody.